Welcome and thank you for attending this session with James and I.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, James. In this presentation, we would like to share with you our experience on how our teams, and I will say our teams, the CRM team and the Sage 300 team at BAASS, we work together to make the integration between Sage CRM and Sage 300 more valuable. When you integrate Sage 300 with Sage CRM, your business benefits from end-to-end visibility and a single view of the customer. Everyone can be working with the same information and communicating in the same way. And this improves productivity, more efficient processes, and more effective communications, all of which opens up new opportunities for growth. And that is what most companies or every company wants today. If you are familiar with the integration between Sage CRM and Sage 300, it means you know the integration and how it used to work. But Sage has redesigned the way that Sage CRM integrates with Sage 300 version 2020. They redesigned it to make it easier to set up and to improve usability and performance. You have the same data appearing in Sage CRM and in Sage 300 in real time. Your sales team no longer needs to wait on your accounting team to access specific information. So a lot of companies ask this question: why should I integrate Sage 300 and CRM? Your front end users should use CRM for the daily task. This is what most companies are doing today with the new norm that we have. While working with the client on sales opportunities or in client activities, they can access the customer accounting details. No need to give them access to your accounting application. No need to log into another application. All in one, Sage CRM. And this process will eliminate the rekeying of data, reduce inquiry time, will result on customer satisfaction, and as we mentioned earlier, it will maximize your business benefits. It will improve productivity. And that is what we are looking for in any organization. So let's have a look on how can a user access Sage 300 data and screens within Sage CRM, especially with the new redesign. Again, without the need to log into Sage 300 or even waiting for the accounting team and finance team to provide you with the customer related information while you are on the phone with the client. You have full visibility within Sage CRM. Please do not worry about permission, and that is what we will mention and talk about in these slides. Customer record. Again, visibility. From the customer record in Sage CRM, users can see key information that is reading in real time from Sage 300. Users can perform certain functions within Sage CRM, such as creating orders. Again, if they have a permission to do. A time-saving feature of this integration is that you are able to jump directly to creating a new Sage 300 quote or orders in real time that will be pushed to Sage 300. When we use either of these two features, you are using your existing Sage 300 inventory pricing. You don't need to worry about these things anymore, which ensures you have the most updated price and can reduce headaches with needing to re-entering data. Definitely, you don't need to rekey this information to your Sage 300. It is real time. By having your Sage CRM and Sage 300 integrated, you can have complete access and overview all using one tool. Again, you no longer need to navigate between the two applications. From the previous screen, you saw that we will have under the customer record multiple tabs. There is a customer tab. When using Sage CRM customer tab, you do not need to relearn where the functionality is. As the customer tab, you will see customer information and you will see it within Sage 300. The way that it has been redesigned, it is using the Sage 300 web screens. From there, users can go deeper into the sub-tabs of the account or customer record. Again, is reading in real time from Sage 300 data. You can go deeper to the credit status, optional fields, statistics. These are all accessible for you to your front-end staff. This will eliminate their need to access Sage 300 as another application. AR history. Have the peace of mind that your CRM team can easily view all invoice history for each account. With this integration, you can filter invoices by customer, status, document type, date, PO number, and much more. These filters can be customized for your business needs. From there, you can even dive deeper into that specific invoice and log to the details or the AR document too. Order entry. Orders can be created from Sage CRM, either from the context of an opportunity record or directly from the company summary screen. And this makes the sales process more streamlined with the finance department by having all necessary sales information in one place. Again, it's pulling data in real time from Sage 300. All your pricing, all your inventory is pulled in real time. Our clients have seen anywhere between saving 2 to 3 hours of time per order, as they now have access to inventory and can have input their own code and orders instead of waiting for their accounting department to relay or input this information. As you see here, these order screens are Sage 300 order web screens. If you are familiar with that, it will be the same. There's no need for you to be trained or know how to use this one because it is exactly the same. The same rich functionality exists within CRM. Vendor integration. Most people think of CRM integration with accounting data. They think it is only customer records. But the Sage CRM integration also works with vendors. This is an optional feature. You can eliminate the vendor integration. We have customers, they have both customer and vendor integration. We have some they use only customers, and we have even few which they use vendor integration only. From the vendor record in Sage CRM, users can see same key information that is reading in real time from Sage 300. Users can perform certain functions with CRM, such as creating PO. Again, if they have the permission to do. They will be able to access historical information like pricing and even the status of PO. Again, as you see here, just like the customer record, when using Sage CRM vendor tab, when you do not need really where the functionalities is, the vendor tab shows you information that is pulled from Sage 300. It is using the same Sage 300 web screen, and the user can go deeper into the sub-tabs of the vendor record. Therefore, again, eliminating their needs to log directly into Sage 300. AP inquiry from this tab, you can, your CRM team also can easily view all document histories for each vendor, and they can filter by document number, document type, date, order number, and much more. From there, you can dive deeper into these specific documents. And the last thing for the integration to show you, from the PO tab, users can view or even create purchase orders, and PO can be created from Sage CRM also. That's an option. And this makes the process more streamlined with the finance department. Again, by having all these necessary information for you in one place. Same as before, this one will save a lot of time and add efficiency to the team and everyday tasks. With the item inventory, the same thing. By having your CRM, like, they will be able to have fully deliver customer service on time. The sales team member can answer questions related to clients' purchase history, quantities, pricing, and they can read all updated inventory level all from within CRM. No need for them to put the customer on hold to answer the right question. Again, this is what it comes with out of the box of CRM and Sage 300 integration. Now, we would like to share two enhancements that our team, again, when I say our team, is the Sage CRM and the Sage 300 team, which is led by James Tang, where we went beyond the out-of-the-box integration. James and I have been talking. I think, James, I will pass it to you because I have been talking for the past 15 minutes. I'm sure everyone will enjoy and listening to you to talk about these tools. James, is all yours.
Thank you, Zainab. I'm not sure if the CRM crowd know who I am, but nonetheless, thank you very much, Zainab. As Zainab mentioned earlier, everything that you've seen so far is the direct integration, out-of-the-box integration provided by Sage CRM. Therefore, you're able to use it without any further modification or enhancement. However, we all know that as part of our day-to-day, right, there are a lot of things that we process within Sage 300 that could benefit from having a process or workflow within Sage CRM. And what we have here is BAASS Sage Collect. So for those of you out there whose job is to, or part of your job is to make collection calls or prepare for collection calls at the end of the month, I think this report is no stranger to many of you. This is a Sage 300H trial balance. And typically you would print pages and pages, and you will mark, go back, you will print pages and pages, and you will go and sort of mark, right? Make notes, who you have to call, did you talk to them before, right? It is a very manual process with sort of a printed report that you scribble on it. But the challenge really is that at the end of the process, at the end of the month, right, you have to do this all over again. So what are some of the challenges? For us to develop a solution, there are challenges. There must be a reason for it. So the key reason why we put this solution together really is one, this is extremely manual process. Two, because it's manual process, right, it's prone to human errors, right, of fault of nobody. But as you go through the list, you got to make calls, you got to make notes, right? And really, once you're done, right, you sort of pack everything back up and then you start all over again. And what is the challenge? None of this information is retained anywhere. So, I mean, next slide, please. Now, in addition, right, these are some of the documents, invoices, statements that you should be familiar with. So as part of the month-end statement process, right, if you have not gone through the process, you really don't or can't appreciate the amount of effort that you have to go through. Okay. First of all, now the fact that you print the invoice, and I think a lot of you probably have heard comments from your customers when they get the invoice, when they get the statement, to say, "Oh, you know what? I never got the invoice. Can't you send them to me?" Right? So hence statement printing is one process, but then the after process that goes along with it takes tremendous amount of time. Sorry, let's go back a little bit. Right, so what do? Then we got to print the invoice, right? If you're lucky, you print a PDF and you store it, and then you create an email, manually send it to your customer as an attachment, right? And then if you want to keep track or make a communication within Sage CRM, then you got to attach it to CRM. Okay, so imagine the process that you have to go through, right? These are all manual. So I was just thinking, if you were to put all of this down and sort of start to calculate, right? Assuming that you have 250 customers on your age receivables, and let's say each of them have 5 invoices per statements that you have to print. That number grows quickly to 1,250 documents total. And I don't know how quickly you work, but imagine if it takes 30 seconds or a minute, but it took me more than a minute just to describe the process, so I could just imagine how much time it's going to take to process each document. Let's be conservative. Let's say it takes 60 seconds. Do you know how much time it takes for you to process 1,250 documents at a minute each? It's 20 hours. Okay, so you could imagine if you have 500 customers where each customer has 10 documents, that number grows exponentially. So I think looking at the process, right? We've all done it. We all have gone through it. It's a manual process. We're so accustomed to it, we just do it months after months. Okay, but imagine if there is a process that will automatically help you capture the information, identify what invoices to print, and attach it in an email to your customers, all with a click of a few buttons. Imagine how much time you're able to save. Next slide, please. So, but this doesn't miraculously just come to fruition, right? As Zainab mentioned, this is a collaborative effort. Collaborative effort between Sage 300 team or the finance team and the CRM team. For some of you that's worked with us in the past, right, you must have heard that, oh, can you document the process? Can you document the process? Why? Because the documentation of the process is the roadmap of your workflow, right? It identifies every scenario. It allows you to document what needs to happen should this scenario occurs, right? So this maps out the entire Sage collection process and workflow, and we've already done that for you. So we took the guesswork out of it. We put all of this together. So now when you process or when you run through the Sage collection system, right, it will then allow you to quickly select the customer, print the statement, attach any invoices on that particular statement, and email it to your customers together, right? And better yet, it allows communication tracking within your Sage CRM. So it doesn't require you to have to guess what you did the previous month. It keeps a record. So just imagine attaching all these invoices and printing all these invoices. It takes a tremendous amount of time. So simple math, right? You may have more customers, less customers, more documents per customer, but at the end of the day, it's all about time saving, accuracy, right? And the ability to retain information, communication, so that you could refer back to it without spending an enormous amount of effort. So this is our Sage Collect solution, right? But we've also introduced what we call the BAASS event query. So I'm the BI practice lead, and you might be wondering, well, why do you have a solution in CRM, right? I mean, if you really think about it, right, BI is a platform just very similar to CRM. We're able to extract information from a variety of sources, right? We could get information from 300 using Sage Intelligence, Sage Enterprise Intelligence, any of the BI tools. But what we're faced with really is that there's licensing consideration, and for users that have access to Sage 300, that's probably the solution to go. But what about your sales staff? What about your customer care rep? Right? I think most of you are saying, you know what, I don't want them in my Sage 300. Well, if you don't want them into your Sage 300, do you want to spend valuable money on BI licenses, right? When they've already got access to Sage CRM. So I think one of the takeaway really is that we're, we're accessing information, whether it's done directly through Sage 300 using Crystal, whether it's accessing information from any of the BI solutions, or connecting the information through CRM, right? It's all about retrieving the information. And for you as the end user, it's really about user experience. You are already used to CRM interface, so why not have the ability to access your events query tools directly in CRM? Okay, so with this particular tool, I mean, Zainab and I got together and we sort of looked at from a customer perspective, right? Customer have inventory, customer sell products, right? But wouldn't it be nice to have comparatives? The ability to compare by customer, by date range, by item, category, right? Whatever parameters that you need, there's just quite a number of parameters here. But we took it even one step further, right? It's easy to see what you've bought, right? But this particular tool provides you the capability to say, oh, you know what, by the way, I want to see a customer bought X, did they buy Y? Right? So the ability of seeing what your customer have not bought, which will provide opportunity, well, which will raise a question, hopefully, for your sales staff and provides opportunity to reach out to the customer and inquire, why are you not buying these products? Right? So we leverage CRM as a platform with its intended audience of salesperson, customer service rep that's familiar with CRM, and combine them with the capability of reaching into Sage 300 data, packaged in such a way that's useful and meaningful for them to do their job. So these are the two solutions that we like to share with you. And I think I actually talk more than Zainab. So take it away,
Oh,
Zainab.
I'm really like surprised. You did the presentation of this part better even than me. Thank you very much, James. And I know we are reaching to the time here, but I just want to mention to everyone, please wait in few. We are working really to have all these short videos available for us in the website. You can go and look to the integration out of the box. You can see for all these developed tools by BAASS that we are creating all these short videos that will be available for you at any time, anywhere, whenever you are looking for any tool to see what does it do. And of course, we are always here for you. Haley, is back to you. Thank you.
So we are going to open it up for a few questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the question window. We did have a few come in, so I'm going to start off with those while others are entering in theirs. So Zainab, the first question is do I need to have Sage CRM to use the collection tool?
Yes, definitely, because this collection tool, the BAASS Sage Collect, have been built on CRM, which integrates to use Sage 300. Yes, you need that one, but depends how many users you want. You can have one collection person, and we do have a package to that we implement CRM for collection.
Another question we have is, does the integration come out of the box when you purchase Sage CRM? Is the integration part of another paid module? Sorry, it was a two-parter.
Sure. So in this case, I think the way that if you already you have Sage 300 and you are purchasing CRM, yes, it comes with the integration. It is not an additional module that you need to pay for the integration. It comes with an integration, and it comes with one integration user. Is there any other question?
And the next question we have is, can I integrate Sage Intacct with Sage CRM?
Well, yes, definitely yes. And this is not out of the box by Sage, but it is available. We have built an integration between Sage Intacct and Sage CRM. If you want more details on that, we do have a session like in the other track, in track 1, that we will be talking about a little bit about the integration. Or on the 19th, we do have a full session for Sage Intacct and Sage CRM integration.
I don't see any other questions right now. So I'd like to take a moment to say thank you very much to Zainab and James for presenting with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Haley, for organizing this.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you.
So we are going to take a quick break. We'll be coming back at 2:10. We will be showing Unleash the Power of Reporting in CRM on this track. And on track 1 is Can CRM Integrate With, and that will be done live by Zainab. So if you want to, you can follow her over to track 1. But I'd love to have you all stay here in track 2. But anyways, everybody, let's take a short break, get up and stretch your legs.